You, Tribe TV, welcome back. We're doing something new. Before we get right into it, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. We're doing a Hemper Box giveaway at 100 subs. We're like 33 away. Hit the notification bell to get notified when new content is uploaded. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter. Links in the description below. Non-Lemme Stop hoodies are available. They're $60. We have a website you can order them on, or you can hit us in the DMs for hand-to-hand cash, debit, all that option, Cash App, Zelle, whatever you need. Other than that, let's get right into it.
Yo, what's good, Tribe TV? SammyOffTheWall here. I'm coming to you with the new rap show with Diego and Hato. We're going to talk about all types of new music, old school music, predictions, people moving up and moving down in the rap game. And Hato's coming to you with a bold prediction for a classic album. So stay tuned.
Going around the table, what would you say your favorite song at the moment right now is? Let's start with SammyOffTheWall, as he's the main.
At the moment, right now,
like what you hopping in the shower, maybe you hopping in the car, whatever.
I'm gonna say Timeless, off the new Burden of Proof, Benny the Butcher featuring Lil Wayne, Big Sean.
Okay, definitely, I feel you.
That's just one of that to pick a top one that'll have to be it.
Word.
But like I could go down for days.
Word. Let's just throw one and then we'll go around for more.
Yeah. Hold on, but before you go around, what would you say really like draws you to it? Is it like the lyrics? Is it the energy?
I mean, when I heard that Benny and Hit Boy were having an album together,
yeah,
I was
facts.
like,
Hit Boy, the production on that album was crazy.
Yeah, nah, and it's just crazy because like Hit Boy does everything now, so people can't even talk about like his like sampling, like
facts. He makes original sound too.
Not yet. So like, I don't know that song, and that's all Lil Wayne and Big Sean, and I'm pretty sure that's like the fourth song on the album. So like that's like the cleanup hitter of the album.
Facts.
So like
Facts.
it was just punching.
Good energy.
Yeah.
Definitely a lot of lyricism.
Not yet, and like
strong verses. Not a lot of chorus. Like a lot of people get Lil Wayne. I feel like they'll do like a lot of chorus work. They'll just get him. Hey, do a hook for me. Nah.
Yeah.
Lay verse. Let's chill.
Let's hear some.
Yeah, Big Sean did good too.
Nah, yeah, they were both spitting. But Wayne was like, he said, "I got homies on my team. They ain't trying to swap jerseys with you." I was like, "Sheesh."
Yeah, that's a fact. That was a
that's
great
his
bar.
whole big thing, whole jersey swaps, and he was like, "Yeah, we ain't really messing with y'all."
Yeah, facts.
So
we'll play y'all. You'll be on the field, but after that, we going home.
That was one of the lines that stood out to me in that song.
Word. Yeah. What about you? What about you, Diego?
Man, it's like up in the air between Real Life by Burna Boy and Stormzy, or Stranger by Burner.
Okay. Off of Quiet Dawn.
Yeah, the Quiet Dawn. But honestly,
Real Life is what, a single?
No.
Or it's the head of an album.
It was It was probably like a main of an album, but it was like the main music video off that album that they really put
great video,
effort into.
Great video production.
I think that's what really brought me into liking that as my favorite song of the album, because like his sound is like very unique. Like he's African and he has like a
African English.
He has like a London accent when he's raps, so it's like his vibe is like so crazy, and then like the whole story like he told in that song, it was just like, you don't need to be killing people that are close to you, because
yeah,
it's pointless.
Definitely. Damn, I got a lot. I don't know if I could choose. Ooh, it either comes down to Burden of Proof, the opening song off of Benny's album, or Latin Grammys off of Action Bronson's album, Only for Dolphins. Latin Grammys is fire.
That was fire.
I may not be able to touch my toes, but I will still fuck these. That's just a bar.
Nah, yeah,
that's a big boy bar. That is a big boy bar. It goes a long way.
And he's trying to be able to touch his toes. He's been losing that.
He's been losing that weight.
Sure.
Action Bronson's been putting that work in, but definitely like that. I'd say the energy of that Benny song though, "Burn the Proof," really sets the tone of that album for me, man. Hit Boy, like on damn near every track, I'd say he like starts the beat and it's like this like slow, not slow, but like there's a build up, and then it's a completely different beat.
Yeah.
Like it's just like, whoa, the energy is here. Like he just floods you with it.
Yeah.
And then Benny starts rapping, and you're like, oh my
shit.
god. When he starts the album and he goes, the last year was about branding. This one's about expanding. I was like, oh,
No.
oh, he told you what he's been up to,
Yeah.
and he described it perfectly. But yeah, the energy of both of those songs is so
Those are
like,
great picks.
I could put it on in the morning. I could get into my shower. I could get into the car, and I could just drive to that.
Yeah.
You know.
If I gotta get in the car though, since I got the CDs, I'm gonna throw in that Karma 3 album.
Oh, facts.
I'm gonna just throw the whole album on because I got that on the CD.
Facts. You don't got an aux cord right now.
Nah.
He's back on the
Keep it
90s
old
wave,
school. Throwbacks.
early 2000s wave. Keeping it going with the new music, what would you say your favorite album is right now? What would you
I'm a shy away from. I'm gonna say Spilligian by Spillage Village. It came out like last month. It's a collective. If people don't know who Spillage Village is, so think of Dreamville, and then it's JID, Earth Gang. There's a guy named Jordan Bryant. Ari Lennox was on there.
Okay.
Black. There's one other artist, but
Loot? Is it Loot?
nah, Luke
fuck with Luke.
wasn't. Nah, Luke goes hard.
Luke goes hard though.
But nah, cause that album's like it has a very like a religious like flow to it, but like it's
Mhm.
their own Spilligian, like, so their
Their own
Spillage
beliefs.
Village, yeah, it's their beliefs, and it's like, I don't know, like going from top to bottom, like I felt like a complete album out of that. I felt like the project was just like very cohesive, and like as you spilled into each track, you just like the feels of all the tracks are just like they're just like blending in
Yeah.
together type shit.
Yeah, the transitions really
Yeah.
like they spark well.
I feel like those guys, like in that group, when they work together, they really make a complete work that like supports each other's way of making music. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like they
all have
just
different flows, different styles, but when it clashes together, it's like meant to be together. Like nobody else could like interfere with that because the sound is like so perfect.
yeah, like once like JID and like Black are together, like they'll make songs for days.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And-
I feel like
and-
they have a very strong connection.
Yeah, like and like JID and Earth Gang, like all these guys that
Oh,
are
they've been
part
working
of
for a minute.
Dreamville.
Yeah.
Like Spillage Village isn't a new thing. Like it's been around since like 2013, 2015. Like once they were brought up in Dreamville, like they were still their village or whatever.
Mhm.
That's fine.
So like, nah, that album, End of Days, and they have fire music videos too. Like all the visuals for it, it just ties into more to the song and it brings deeper meaning to it.
Right.
So like that was one of the fire things I saw. And
Facts.
also they just did a Tiny Desk concert today. They're
Ooh,
at
nice.
home.
Yeah, those are
I
sick.
didn't.
That's
I
what's
didn't.
up.
I,
Those are
I didn't
sick.
see it yet though, but
Those are sick. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Maybe we'll do a little reaction for y'all.
Tiny
Definitely
Desk
gonna have to check that
concerts
out.
are-
A little Sammy Off the Wall feature in the reactions.
Facts. What about you, Diego?
I might have to go with the Action Bronson. I don't listen to it religiously, but I like the way that he put his whole sounds together. Action, he's always like the producers that he works with
Alchemist. It's damn
The
near every
Alchemist,
time.
yeah.
every time, but even because like he plays his instruments, you know.
Oh yeah, he gets in
So,
there. He
like,
gets in there with it.
when you go see him on Fuck That's Delicious or his other shows that he gets featured on, like
Ancient
they-
Aliens.
like they play instruments and they go to different countries and like learn different roots and shit. So like that's why I fuck with Bronte, because he could find any instrument and make the sound that he thought of when he saw that in the picture. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you
'Cause,
know.
like he sees somebody playing something and it sounds a certain way. He's like, I could do it like this, and then he does it by just giving certain little details to his producers, and it's just like, yo, I want this sound, and I want it to flow from this song, and then after that song ends, there's gonna be a little gap because you'll hear like there's dolphins throughout the whole shit, but like sometimes you don't hear it, and then the next song it starts out with a dolphin again. So
I was
it's just
gonna
like
say-
the little ass things that he does. It's just like
I was gonna say the dolphin
full
noises
circle. Full
really like it reminds me of back when it's above the clouds goes into JFK to LAX on Gangstar's album, Moment of Truth, and you can hear like the end of the beat of like Above the Clouds, and then you're like,
it's just
damn,
it's just like
I just want to go listen
ass,
to that again though.
It's just like little ass
Yeah, it's
sounds.
real quick, but like you hear the dolphin sound kind of do the same thing a lot throughout that project, and I really think it ties it ties it together.
That's what I honestly thought, because like certain people, they just put music into an album. They made music throughout the whole year.
They make a playlist pretty much.
This sounds good. They clash everything together. That's not what he really did. He really,
I love
like,
transitions.
You could see like certain people make songs to listen through straight through, not to put on shuffle, and I think that's what Action tries to do every time.
Yeah,
just make sure you listen to it from top to bottom, because you could hear the transitions in between.
Facts. Yeah, that's exactly what I was about to say.
Because when you take psychedelics, the transitions are a big part in it, and he's a heavy psychedelic person.
Oh, that's a fact. I didn't even think about that.
Certain things that flow into each other and the sounds that flow together, and it's just like, it's perfect because he takes a lot of LSD and everything's enhanced. You could hear certain sounds that you don't hear when you're not. So he does a really good job at taking out for that.
That's a big fact. I was gonna say the Action Bronson album as my favorite, but a little bit before that, Smoke DZA had dropped his album Homegrown, which, oh my god, as a complete like body of work, like Smoke DZA has been able to constantly drop albums that aren't just a compilation of one song, pretty much, where it's like, damn, every song either sounds the same or has the same tone, same vibe, this, that. No.
Yeah.
He takes you through this whole like journey, like a story almost. And he doesn't necessarily explain a story every time, like a Paranoia or something like that.
Yeah.
He just takes you on this like vibe ride, if you will.
Yeah, he puts you through a certain emotion that you need to find.
And he might give you 2-3 stories
Right.
chopped up over a couple songs, or maybe just straight.
A long
Every song
story
is a separate story.
that leads up to that moment.
But he also had so many great features. The Burner feature on this
Fire.
was amazing. Oh my god. He says, when you start your verse and you say, take your re-up money and go shop with it, you're being fucking disrespectful, bro. I wish Burner would just talk, like literally just name drop. I just wish he would name drop who he's talking about sometimes, and we could just get some beef, you know what I mean? Like,
what company?
Like, who are you talking about, Burner? Are you talking about Jungle Boys? Are you talking about All Gas No Brakes? Like, are you throwing some of your competitors or your like even some of your members under the bus? Like, what's going on? Like, I want to know. He had so much like just about the weed game in there, and I love the way Burner does that. And I'm getting into Burner now, but Smoke just adding his what's it called, features now, because he's at the point where he's definitely an OG. That's what you really do when you're at that age, like a Jim Jones, I'm drawing a blank. Even Cameron does it still. I drew a big blank real quick, but I was gonna say you bring in the younger guys, the guys who are popping. He damn near always has Flip on his album, and they go off together.
Yeah. Flip,
Nimlo was on the past too, and he delivered a great verse on each of them. He was on the same song as Burner, actually. He was on Union Dues. He says, making like money right under your nose. Oh, when he goes into that and he starts talking about the way he makes money and all that, it's like special. And then the fact that Smoke can take that and then like circle it back into you just brings it full circle, and he works well with features. He just doesn't grab a feature and then go, all right, I have your verse. Yeah. I should be able to get some views. No, he takes your feature and then he's like, okay, I got to work with it.
Yeah,
you know?
It makes you work with him also.
Yeah, definitely. And it makes you bounce with Smoke, and then you're like, I'm going to listen to this dude more.
Yeah.
For sure. Who would you say moving up big time right now? I was just talking about Burner. The way he moves up, and he moves his branding up, and just his music continues to get better.
Yeah,
you know?
He's put out 4 projects in the last 12 months.
Damn.
And there's one next week. So 5 projects in less than 12 months.
Man.
Since November of 2019, when La Plaza came out, he's dropped 3 projects after La Plaza, and there's Cookies and Orange Juice coming out on the 27th.
Cookies and Orange Juice? This is him and Wiz?
Who knows?
I remember Orange Juice and Kush. Or Kush and Orange Juice? Kush and Orange Juice? Is this a Wiz collab? I mean, they're on Taylor Gang together. So
let's just wait for that. Let's see what they have coming. But somebody that has just been continuously on the uprise since last year, I would say, is Polo G. I feel like every music video he puts out is like a full music video. And like every song, like he's the mainstream rapper right now. But for good reasoning, because he got bars to back up his shit, and
he's got bars for sure.
He's not just a regular guy that's just.
He doesn't do the trends.
No, like
he actually sets them.
He talks his shit, and that's why I respect Polo G. So I think Polo G is it for me right now. For the guy that's coming up.
Would you say the biggest respect from Polo G's like career right now is the fact that he'll sort of do something, whether it's in a video or in a song, and then you'll see older guys try to replicate it. Yeah. And they'll copy, or they'll just get him to do it for them, essentially.
And I like how he even takes, like, he works with a lot of the young guys that he's coming up with. So he's not on some fuck shit.
Yeah.
I'm being like, yo, I'm about to come up. you were coming up. I'm going to just blow by you. Like, nah. He's like, yo, let's work together. Let's both move up. You feel me? So
definitely.
That's why I think he's like the young guy that's really gonna be moving up and be the face of that generation, of those guys in that industry. Because he's just everything he puts out is fire.
Oh, definitely. Definitely.
What about you?
Anybody on the rise coming down? Maybe.
I mean, like for like the rise up, like I didn't really think of like too many like younger cats, but like. I mean, cause it's so hard to like stay away from like the whole Griselda stuff. Like Westside Gunn, like he had Pray for Paris earlier this year.
Definitely.
And then he has Who Let the Sun Rise.
Who Lets the Sun Shine? Or whatever.
Yo.
And he just dropped that, and like.
Yo, sorry to cut you off, but Ocean Prime, off that, Slick Rick. Oh, and Bust. Oh.
Yeah, that's a fact. That's a fact. I thought Bust could have went a little faster, but that was fire.
That's one of my favorite new songs, just because of I came up listening to those guys because of my pops. But
facts.
Just go on. Yeah, you finish your thought with that album, because that was a great piece of work.
I mean, like every body of work from Westside Gunn is just like it's like,
an art piece,
distinct, and like there's nothing else like it except for his like you hear his ad-libs, you're like. And it never gets old.
Yeah, you never get old.
Like, it never gets old. Like, I don't know.
Nah, that's a fact.
I feel like Griselda, they haven't like really had like big numbers on like the Billboard or whatever. Like Westside Gunn hit the charts like earlier this year.
Pray for Paris hit the charts. Yeah.
Pray for Paris hit the charts
with 327 and what's it called?
I'm not sure what else.
I'm pretty sure it was like Allah Sent Me or George Bondo.
Right.
I'm not sure.
But like. I feel like once they keep on releasing other stuff, like the billboards are gonna show the respect, because their music is so big still, but like it's still not at the same time.
Yeah,
like a lot of people in music like really don't tune in to Westside Gunn and Benny the Butcher, but like they're still.
That's because
extremely big.
That's because they haven't.
Facts.
That's because they didn't come out of a borough from New York.
Exactly.
But the other thing is though, they didn't come out of a borough, but they've owned Times Square for the past 9 months. Yeah. The past 9 months. Since Pray for Paris, there has been a Griselda album on at least 2 billboards in Times Square every month.
No, they're taking over. I feel like they've been taking over New York. Like, I mean, the only people
since Tito's back for sure, at least.
The only people in my eyes that are like really like fighting for like the New York spot is like you got Griselda. I don't really see any other group taking them down.
No.
And then you got Dave East, which people be sleeping on, but he still be running New York, and like everyone looks towards like these younger cats, but like
the thing with the younger cats is that the younger cats are
I can out rap half of them,
all from Brooklyn. Which if you take a look at Brooklyn and where all these younger cats come from and their background, they're all usually from a gang and stuff. And if you look at Brooklyn is so divided territory wise. You know, you go into what was it like? You go into Flatbush. I mean, you walk on one side of the street, you got Bloods. You walk on the other, there's Crips. You go into Bed-Stuy, I'm pretty sure that's Big Blood territory. You go down, like the list just goes on. There's gangs on every block, and they're all different.
Yeah.
So all these gangs are going to be, what's it called? They're going to be repping, their new kid, this new kid, blah,
Right.
blah, blah. Who's putting them on, this and
Yeah.
that. So that's always going to change to me, whereas, like, you see East and Harlem. Like, Harlem has always had either a group of people or somebody who's just in Harlem. You either had Dipset or you had Big L.
And
In
then
this
the
era, you had
Mob.
the Mob or you have East.
Right.
So, like, you have more of, like, a territorial thing, because Brooklyn's been a shithole since Biggie died.
Yeah. Everybody's been trying to fight for that top spot.
Nobody's owned Brooklyn. People have came close. Pro Era was really banging for a couple of years. Joey's been quiet since quarantine started because he can't make tour money.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
It is unfortunate.
And it's because, like, a lot of the young guys, they like to put music videos out, and that's where a lot of the money is. And so
Definitely.
they're doing what they've been doing, and the older guys, they take a toll because a lot of the older guys go on tour worldwide and not just in the States because everybody wants to see them. You know what I mean? So it's like
Facts.
a lot of people took a big loss.
This
and are
just this year.
And just trying to find a way to put out more shit. So
Or
lot of-
save their big tour album
right, exactly. So
for
Right.
post-corona, which is that's a
Another-
different
and
combo.
that's
Don't
why,
yeah.
And that's why, like I said, Polo G, he's on the uprise, and he's put out a lot of music videos this year just because he's had a lot of free time because he's been doing the shit that he's been doing.
Definitely. I mean, the young guys, their music videos are pretty simple, but it's just like they're so like, oh, that was cool.
Yeah.
It was pretty chill for like a "I'm about to kill you" song. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Word.
Yeah, they're good at that. They're pretty good at that. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if there's really anybody else who's really making a big jump in the rap game right now. We were talking about Bronson earlier. The only thing I wanted to talk about was really his brand. He is still going to be continuing "Fuck That's Delicious," which is a great,
which is what everybody needs.
great
It's a great
fucking
show.
news. Because if you didn't know, him and Vice split. That contract is done. He's talking about that there's no negotiation. He does not want anything to do with Vice, but he owns "Fuck That's Delicious," so he's gonna go do that elsewhere.
Yeah.
And he's been losing weight, all that. He's been doing good. So he's definitely coming back on the rise, especially not having albums. Like, he's had a handful of projects. He had Lamb Over Rice. He had all that haven't touched the charts since he had Blue Chips and what's the one before that? Acting Crazy.
Yeah.
So it's glad to see him back. He was at like
doing his
95, I think, actually. So he's doing his thing.
That's good.
He's doing this thing.
Good shit, Action.
Hell yeah. Now,
We love your music.
finally, on to, I guess, the main event here. What you've all probably not been waiting for, honestly. But, anyways, what you might have been waiting for. Down to my classic album prediction. Now, hear me out. I've been keeping this secret from these two for the past, like, hour or so now.
It's been
So-
like 3 hours.
It's been like 3 hours. We've been setting up for a while, but you know what I mean. Anyways, the first before I get into talking about what classic it is and explaining why, I want to ask you all, just so the audience knows, what would you consider? What makes an album classic to you? What's a classic album to you?
All right.
Start.
I'll take
who wants to start?
I'll just
You wanna
go
go this
a little,
way?
Yeah, I'll go like a little.
All right, Diego.
Like a classic.
Diego's gonna start.
A classic album to me is something that you could put on in any era, and it could either relate to the time, be like something that is like a inspiration for that time, or something that like took place right before that time. So, like in a sense, like when like a classic like trap album.
If you got to give
for
an example, go
instance,
through.
No, I just want to give a general so everybody could understand. Like, if a classic trap album from the 90s talks about like killing and doing certain shit, that's classic because they could talk about pre-90s, like talking about in the 50s and 60s mob killing people, doing drugs, all of this shit.
Even from the 30s up.
Right, even to present day when people are still doing shit. So it's like classic albums I feel like it just any generation could listen to. Your dad listens to it, you listen to it, your grandpa listens to it. It could relate to any of their lives, no matter what it is. So honestly, I think a classic is just anything that anybody could listen to, not just a certain generation of people.
Right. What about you, Sammy?
To me, a classic album is from track number 1 to the final outro track. There's no skips. There's not even like a second in your mind where you're thinking of skipping a song.
Facts.
Like
Word.
it could
That's
be
a
an
good
hour 15, and you're sitting there and time passes by, and then you're already on the outro. You're like, oh shit, like I gotta play that back. Like
Yeah.
I gotta get my second listening already. Like
Facts.
I feel like like a classic album for me, like that's what it does, and like even albums that aren't classics, that still happens, but like. I feel like classics are when like you really feel like you went on like a journey on that album.
Yeah.
Like
And you don't want to shy away from that album.
and you can really like understand more in depth of like what they were trying to have like you learn that on your own while going through it and like
Facts.
really digesting and learning the music for yourself and
Right.
like comprehending that art. I feel like classic albums are just like classic like art pieces. Like it'll still age over time. That's what good shit does. It ages.
Yeah. Increases
then-
in value.
Yeah. So then when
Definitely.
you look back, and then there's still gonna be some shit where you didn't even realize or like hear on that listen
Because
like,
you still listen through it the whole time.
exactly. So then like classic album for me, like 10 years down the line, I'm gonna be listening and then I'm gonna be like, oh shit, I never caught that bar before, and then it's gonna relate to my life then, like what you were saying.
Yeah, definitely.
So, yeah, I feel like that's what always classic albums are.
Definitely, because for me, I think it comes down to three main things. Number one, the album itself has to have a flow. The songs need to transition like just so like keen. I need to be able to go from track 1 to track 12 and not be like, how the fuck did I get here? Is this on shuffle? You know what I mean? Like I need to make sure that I can see the path ahead of me and I feel comfortable that whole time.
And
or
you
I
can
feel-
still hear the songs that you listened to before in order.
Yeah, definitely. And when they transition, they complement each other. Where it's like, ooh, I might want to re-listen to that just because this sounds so good, or that transition was so good. Number 2, the production doesn't just need to be good; it needs to fit that artist, and it needs to expand their vibe as well. So, when producers hop on and they. Like Kanye really nailed like Push's vibe on Daytona, and he really just let him run.
Yeah.
And Push was like, I want to do like a 12-track album. He's like, you only need 7. He was like, why? He's like, you need 7 of your best, and you just need to run on those tracks.
Yeah.
And the production really set the tone of that. Comeback Baby is unreal. Santeria is fucking amazing. If you know, you know. Like you could name all 7 of those tracks, and you're just like, damn. I could listen to any of those right now, and you're probably going to listen to all of them just because that's one. Like Daytona is a perfect example of a modern classic because it's one big song. It transitions so well.
Yeah.
And then third it needs to like I said, it needs to fit the artist. It needs to fit his tone, vibe, all that, and it needs to expand on it, like I just said. And then third and final, the most important thing is the lyrics, and what's filled up needs to be timeless. And what I mean by that is,
like what I
as time goes on, more meaning, more like resonation and all that comes to you as you listen,
Right.
and more shit happens. You know, almost as like predictions of the future. Literally, I'd have to say like Glow in the Dark off of Skepta's album. What is that? Is that Bullet from a Gun, or is it Pure Water, or whatever it is that album's called? Amazing. He literally says, this is how I said shit would go. The streets at an all-time high, the government at an all-time low. And he released that 2-3 years ago. Look at where we are today. Look at where we are today. And that's it. That's just it. So when it comes down to a classic, that's what I really think a classic is. And that being said,
let's hear what you think is the classic.
it's a little
this
early.
week. Just
It's a
so
little
you guys know,
early.
This album released the week that we're recording this.
I would say it is.
October.
It's October 23rd right now.
Friday 23rd.
This album came out 2 days ago or yesterday or some shit. Burden of Proof is going to be a classic.
That was my guess the whole
Burden
time.
of Proof is going to be a classic, and here's why. Benny himself, we're just going to talk about Benny. He stays true to his vibe, and he expands to new ones. So he stayed true, like Sly Green, Benny vibe.
Yeah.
Benny vibe for sure. He just went off, and he went fast, and he was slowing it down at some parts, and he just gave you so much about the trap, his life, just moving in and out, what happened in prison, all of that, you know what I mean? Just all of his experience just packed into one song. Boom. That was awesome. But then he expands onto other vibes, like Legend. The ending was...
That song was crazy.
Oh, my God. Hit Boy did his thing on that, and I'll get to that in a second, but Benny did his thing on that.
If y'all haven't seen it, click the link. We did the reaction to that. So yeah.
Facts.
Click over, watch the reaction.
His bars and his lyrical presence that whole time was unreal. I've never heard somebody... I will just say, Benny the Butcher has the greatest sports bars of all time.
Yes.
Of all time. Drafted in the best player drafted in the 7th round. Okay. A lot of people think he's probably talking football, this, that. Nah, he's talking hockey. This dude talks hockey so much, I don't even think most of the rap community understands he's talking hockey. I shoot with no one around me like a penalty shot. Most people probably thought that was soccer. Dumbasses. You shoot with people around you on a penalty shot with soccer. They all line up behind you. In hockey, it's just you and the goalie. This dude is making the George Bondo bar. I know this isn't on Burden of Proof, but the Patrick Kane one, I'm shooting one by the goalie.
Yeah.
What the fuck, man?
Jeez.
What the fuck are you doing? Like, no, and I said this in the last reaction video, or one of the last reaction videos. Freddie Gibbs gave a James Harden step back bar. I feel like that has been the like corniest sport, like that's your McChicken of sports bars of like since 2015 pretty much. So he never goes near that. Jeremy, you were only good for a season, like Jeremy Lin. Come on, bro, that's a different album too, but I'm just saying I could go on with the sports bars. And he definitely gives you the flavor in the bars by talking about himself. And
his gun came with car insurance. He told you who he shot with it. Like, he's giving you little shits.
He's literally just like, yo, I did this.
I killed these guys, and then I sold you that gun.
I killed these guys, I told you about it, and I sold you the gun.
Now what are you going to do?
Now what? Were you going to lock me up? All right. I'm just going to go learn more shit in prison. That's literally what he says.
Come on, Benny.
This dude is he's unreal. Like I said, I was about to get to Hit Boy. Hit Boy took this project, and he threw it through another loop. I said earlier in the video that like every song he kind of like gives you an intro and then the beat starts. Yeah. And it's like, whoa. The other thing he does is he switches the beat, and it's like, I remember when Astro World came out, I was like, I don't know if I like this too much. And it's grown on me now to the point where it's like the beat switches are like, oh, okay, like it's cool, but the vibe is so different. Where it's like Hit Boy gives you a vibe first, Benny's going. Benny slows down. The vibe switches, gets faster, and Benny is sprinting. Intense. Yeah, and it's just it gets crazy by the end of it. And man, the pace of that album was so good. I think he did it perfectly because it feels quick the whole time, but then you look back at the time and you're like, damn, that was a long album. Like,
I mean, it's only 12 songs, but it feels like
it's like an hour.
It feels decent.
Yeah, like it's that classic album length. You know what I mean? Like 12 tracks. It's probably
it's only 38 minutes.
That's a 38-minute album?
Yeah.
What? It does not feel like no 38-minute album. Maybe that's why it's so good. It's like Daytona length.
Yeah. Because you could listen to
it. Short albums are the wave.
And then it'll restart, and then you don't even realize.
Yeah. No, when I played it through, like I got to like the Legend, and I was like, damn, I gotta play it back from the top already. Like.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like it's so short. Maybe they do this for a reason because they know every bar.
I think Kanye nailed it.
Every bar is so fire.
Because think about it. You haven't seen LPs.
I gotta go back to that.
Since that Scorpion album that Drake did. Everybody was like, ooh.
Didn't do well.
Didn't do good.
Yeah.
I mean, remember that Migos album that was retarded Quality Control? I don't think I've ever listened to more than 3 fucking songs off of it.
Nah.
People like, have you listened? It dropped in. We were in high school when this came out.
That's
Everybody,
not funny because
it dropped 2 hours in. This is like a 4-hour album. Okay, 2 hours in, people are like, yeah, I'm on my second replay. I'm like, how the fuck are you on a second replay? That doesn't make any. You replayed a song. You might have replayed a song. You haven't replayed no album, bro. I haven't even listened to all of Rolling Papers 2 yet. Okay, that album came out, what, like 4 years ago?
Yeah,
holy shit, that's such a long LP. I remember, like, 2 years ago, I was like, yo, what's the one with him and Lil Skies? It's like Kings or whatever. I was like, yo, this is a fire song. Everybody was like, I was listening to that last year. I was like, yeah, but I only listened to half the album last year, so you can shut the fuck up. All right, got a little sidetracked there, but
no, I think we could agree with you with this one.
Nah, yeah. Literally, like, the whole time I was like, it's definitely Benny. There's no other album that you're going to say is a classic that came out recently. And
I mean, The Quiet Dawn.
Quiet Dawn is fire.
Maybe.
It's fire.
But
I mean,
I
even
feel
Karma
like,
3, but like,
but nah,
I skip songs on those.
Even
I don't skip songs on Benny.
I feel like La Plaza is more of
the classic,
the classic,
the burner classic. I mean,
from this past year at least.
What
Actually, no. What was Yeah. No.
Oh, him and Be Real. Are you talking about Los Meros?
Yeah, but I was about to say, but even that one, you could probably skip a song or two.
Yeah.
La Plaza,
facts.
you don't.
I was gonna say my last point about this Benny album was that it doesn't remind me of any other album ever in the history of albums
or anybody's music.
And it doesn't remind me at all of any of his other work. And it just, like, I said this about some Jay-Z songs. I said this about what's it called? The Story of OJ, where it's like when it released, I felt like people had been listening to it for decades. Like it fits on the shelf.
Yeah.
It just fit, like, it's just like, why hasn't that been there? You know what I mean? Like, why hasn't that been out? You know, where was this?
Yeah.
You know, like, it's been missing.
Just did a Story of OJ.
Really?
Yeah, I gotta listen to that.
He did a remix on the beat, or he did like a song called it.
It's the song. The song's called The Story of OJ. I'm pretty sure he did like the same beat that Jay-Z used, but maybe just.
Because that'd be like the third song we've heard on
it.
it.
Like sampled it and then try to
change it.
He probably did some NBA Youngboy shit to it. He went a little bit harder than Jay-Z.
Facts. I mean, when Push did his thing, that was kind of fire. I mean, hey, he kind of killed Drake, but
it's alright.
Man, I could still throw The Story added on, man.
That song's fire.
So fire, man. Yeah. Come on, man.
He just didn't have to roast the fam.
He just didn't. The only part I wish he didn't put on that song was the part about, what's his name? His producer.
Yeah.
That was a little fucked up, but hey, man.
You gotta do what you gotta do to win.
All fair is love in war.
Yeah.
So,
that being said, there's a new classic out. Go bump it. Benny the Butcher. Burden of Proof.
Burden of Proof. If you haven't fucking heard it, you gotta hear it.
Nope. Our GoPro just died. That's okay.
It's alright. I'm not on camera.
Here.
I'll hop on somebody's camera in a minute.
We're still here.
All good.
Wrapping up.
Wrap it up.
All right, word.
Wrap it up like a sub at Subway.
All right, everybody. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Hemperbox giveaway at 100 subs. We're getting close. Not Let Me Stop hoodies are available now on the website. They're $60. You can hit us in the DM as well for hand-to-hand, cash options, Cash App, Zelle, all that. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter. The links are in the description below. Make sure you follow SammyOffTheWall. Check him out on SoundCloud, Apple Music. Yes, all that will be linked. Make sure you follow him on Instagram so you see his new music coming out. He's going to have some new shit soon, eventually.
Yes.
New music soon.
He's been in
Hopefully,
the booth. He's been working on some shit.
Probably at the end of this month. Maybe.
Word.
I could tell you.
Trick or
but
treat.
you just got to find out when it comes out.
Yep. Stay
new
tuned.
Music rest of the year. Got a little EP. Homies from you don't even know where. You just got to find out.
Oh.
You say you ain't even know it.
If you know, you know.
All right.
If you know, yeah, exactly. If you know, you know.
Facts.
Shout out to them homies out there.
I'll leave it like that, folks.
Hell yeah. All right, everybody. Make sure you stay safe, balance, prosper. Peace out.